Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Komang Astuti Dewi with NPM 224111071 from Class MNJ22B, a student at Technocrat Indonesia University. Here I will explain the material about taxpayer rights and obligations. Taxpayer rights are a series of rights owned by individuals or bodies that have an obligation to pay taxes in accordance with applicable tax regulations. Taxpayer rights. 1. Right to excess tax payment. Taxpayers have the right to get back the amount of tax payments that exceed the tax obligations that should be. This refund can be made within a certain time after the application is received. 2. Right to confidentiality. Taxpayers have the right to maintain the confidentiality of their tax information. Information submitted to the Directorate General of Taxes, DJP, must be protected and must not be disclosed to other parties. 3. Right to file objections and appeals. If taxpayers are dissatisfied with the tax assessment, they can file an objection to the head of the Tax Service Office, KPP, and, if necessary, proceed to the tax court. 4. Right to receive guidance and direction. Taxpayers have the right to receive guidance from the tax authorities to understand their tax obligations. 5. Right to extend the tax return submission time. Taxpayers can submit an application to extend the time for submitting the tax return, SPT, with clear reasons before the deadline. 6. Right to postpone or installment tax payments. Under certain conditions, taxpayers can apply for a postponement or installment of tax payments. 7. Right to obtain tax incentives. Taxpayers are entitled to receive tax incentives in accordance with applicable provisions, such as certain tax reductions or exemptions. Taxpayer obligations are 1. NPWP registration. Taxpayers are required to register and obtain a taxpayer identification number, NPWP, as an identity in the taxation system. 2. Business reporting and tax payment. Taxpayers must report their business and pay taxes owed in accordance with applicable provisions. 3. SPT reporting. Taxpayers are required to routinely report SPT according to their tax period, both monthly and annually. 4. Providing accurate information and documents. Taxpayers must provide accurate information and documents related to their business activities and tax obligations during a certain period. 5. Carrying out tax deductions or collections. For tax deductions or collections, for taxpayers who have the status of tax withholding or collectors, they are required to carry out tax deductions or collections in accordance with applicable provisions. By understanding these rights and obligations, taxpayers can carry out their responsibilities effectively. The purpose of taxpayer rights. 1. Protection of rights. Providing assurance to taxpayers that the information and data they submit will be kept confidential, so that they feel safe in fulfilling their tax obligations. 2. Fairness and transparency. Ensuring that taxpayers have the right to file objections or appeals against tax assessments, which supports the principle of fairness in the tax system. 3. Encouraging compliance. By providing the right to a refund of excess tax payments and tax incentives, the government encourages taxpayers to be more compliant in carrying out their tax obligations. 4. Access to information. Ensuring that taxpayers have access to information related to taxation, including the right to receive guidance and services from the tax authorities. The purpose of taxpayer obligations is 1. Contribution to state revenue. The obligation to pay taxes is a direct contribution of taxpayers to state revenue, which is used to finance various development programs and public services. 2. Compliance with regulations. The obligation to report taxes and provide accurate information aims to ensure compliance with applicable tax regulations. 3. Transparency and accountability. With clear reporting obligations, the government can ensure transparency in tax management, thereby increasing accountability in the use of public funds. 4. Economic regulation. The obligation to withhold or collect taxes by third parties, such as companies, helps the government regulate the economy and ensure that taxes are collected properly. Overall, The rights and obligations of taxpayers are designed to create a fair, transparent, and efficient tax system.